And you don't seem to understand. A shame you seemed an honest man. And all the fears you hold so dear will turn to whisper in your ear. And you know what they say might hurt you, and you know that it means so much, and you don't even feel the pain. I am falling, I am fading, I have lost it all, and you don't seem the lying kind. A shame that I can read your mind, and all the things that I read there. Candlelit smile that we both share. And you know I don't mean to hurt you, but you know that it means so much.
The oversaturation of content is shattering our realities. Now, you might think that there is only one reality, the one we live in. This is a lie. Nowadays, we live in our own little private realities, singular, made specially for us. We are used to thinking our reality is the real reality, but is it really? I am proposing an idea that has probably already been talked about. The idea that there isn't really one reality, and that this is even more common in the 21st century. For example, there has been a rise in loneliness since 2015, Matt Johnson, a speaker, researcher, and writer, says. Research also has found that loneliness is associated with increased internet use, and it's a public health problem because it means we are deprived of social connection, making us spend more time with our phones rather than spending time with other people. This social disconnection is very common, and it became even more noticeable when the COVID-19 pandemic came, making us lose connection of many of our support systems. This can relate to the Kronos archetype because loneliness makes us contract, just like Kronos. Loneliness doesn't necessarily change when we are with people. It's a feeling that eats you, consumes you, and eventually could kill you. Another thing that is evidence of our separated realities is that our attention span is shortened, making us stick to the easiest reality, not the better one. We can see this happening because of the increase of internet use and screen time. This is somewhat similar to the first argument because it talks about the internet, which is a very important part of the society today. It also talks about isolation from our collective reality because nowadays there are just too many. We can't stay focused on one thing at a time nowadays. People prefer to let their minds decay with stupid, brain-killing, fast content. The next fact is that there are about 48 upcoming movies, and that is just in the cinema. This is a lot. Now, how does this relate to us living in different realities? Well, before there were very few movies in the cinema. Then everyone was talking about those movies. Everyone was living in the same reality. Now there are just too many. This makes us live each one in a different reality. This was an example, but it can be applied to other things like trends on TikTok, songs and music genres, etc. This relates to the Zeus archetype because it talks about abundance and an excess of something. Another way of living in another reality is by having a mental illness. This is, I think, the most noticeable way of living in another reality. For example, you can take two people. One of them has depression and the other doesn't. They can be both doing the same thing, something that is supposed to bring them joy. One of them is going to be happy, the other, no matter what they do, won't. This puts them each in a different states of existing. It's a different way of experiencing the world. Mental illnesses work like classes. They make you see the world in a different way, through a different lens, through an opaque, dark lens. Today we live all alone, falling into the depths of our own consciousness, so starved from social connection that we get denaturalized from it, making it hard to socialize in any way. I think this is a very serious problem that we should try to fix, since living alone and in different realities can become harmful not only to ourselves but to the rest of the ecosystem and the planet. Even after this, it's important to remember that we are a system, that we are one whole simple organism, together with everyone else. And no matter what, how alone, separated, or alienated we feel, we are always truly together. In the end, there are no different realities, just different perceptions of the same one reality, a collective reality that we now see fragmented. People live in it differently. Each one can live it however their mind pleases. It's a broken mirror, a broken window. Is the reality really real? Are we now living in the reality of an experience that is truly real? We are real, or at least that's what I want to think.